I saw God. In this video, I'm going to tell you two stories, one from my life, one from the Bible, and one takeaway from those two stories that will change your life forever if you let it. Let's get into it. Yesterday, we were at the beach and my kids were jumping off the pier, and there was these two other kids who were there who seemed terrified. One of them kept walking to the end of the pier and looking down and then telling his sister, jump, 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 I'll go right after you. Okay, if I go, then you have to go. And I was just watching my kids jump in one after another, boom, 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 and wondering if these kids were ever gonna go. 20 minutes passed by and the older brother, the little girl never went, but the older brother finally holds on to the edge of the pier. Half of his body is already in the water. The water is only about 4.5 feet deep. And he finally just let's go. And he makes this little tiny splash in the water. And then he slowly starts working up the confidence to jump off like my kids. And it made me think, seeing how my beautiful kids had so much joy and confidence, fearlessness, eventually it changed him. Eventually, the little sister started jumping in too. Seeing something that beautiful changes you. And we can be changed too by looking at the beauty of God. Check out Exodus 34, verse 29 and 30. Moses didn't realize as he came back down the mountain with the tablets that his face glowed from being in the presence of God. Because of his radiance upon his face, Aaron and the people of Israel were afraid to come near him. What happens here is Moses goes up on the mountain to get the 2 stone tablets, the 10 commandments, and he goes up there and he tells God, I want to see you. And God says, okay, I'll let you see my glory. And after beholding God's glory, it changes Moses. He literally is shining to the point where people are afraid to come around him. And that same thing is going to happen to you. Maybe it already has. You might have people in your life who are ghosting you or turning away from you or don't want to be around you. It's the light of God shining from you. You can't see it physically like we did Moses, but it's because right now we see very dimly God. But one day we'll behold him and we'll be just like him when we're in heaven. But just like seeing God change Moses, today and every day, you can see God, and I promise, and the Bible promises, God promises, it will change you. Now, we can't just go up on a mountain and meet with God and have his glory shine upon us and change us because of how beautiful it is. But we do have the answer on how to be deeply changed. Check this out. John chapter 14, verses 8 through 10. Philip said, Sir, show us the Father, and we will be satisfied. Jesus replied, Don't you even yet know who I am, Philip? Even after all this time, I've been with you. Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. So why are you asking to see him? Don't you believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? See, here's the problem that we're in. You and I, like Philip, can be seeing Jesus, but not be changed by him. And it's because how Philip was seeing Jesus. He was seeing him the wrong way. We have to see him the way that Jesus tells us to see him. Because if we go to him the wrong way, trying to prove ourselves or get affirmation for some type of sin that we want, or even if we go to him in a prideful way, without an open heart, without true desire for him, we'll never truly see him. The Bible reveals who Jesus is. The Gospels show us who the Son of God is. Jesus is the glory and the beauty of God. When you look at his life and how beautiful he was, how fearless he was, how joyful and confident and strong he was, it will change you. This is what happened to me. I spent all my life in a pastor's home, going to church every Sunday, going to midweek Bible study every week, going to Young Life and youth groups, and nothing happened until I came to him with an open heart, open desire, and came to the end of myself and realized, God, I need you. It means coming to God with a pure heart. And that's why Jesus says in Matthew chapter 5 that the pure in heart shall see God. And that presents us with another problem, doesn't it? Because we are not pure in heart, but Jesus is. When we come to God, we can see him because Jesus was pure in heart. And on the cross, he took your place. so that when we come to God, God sees us as Jesus, as righteous, as pure in heart. And he says, come, behold me, look at me. That's why when we look to Jesus, we experience the glory and the beauty of God. We see his life and it changes us. He was so pure that he rose from the grave. So go to him, look at him, and let me know in the comments how you're going to spend time with God this week. I love you. Hope that this blesses you. Check out Amen Podcast if you want to hear me preach more, and go out and be the church.
Amen.